Hey, Dave.
Aloha, David.
Aloha.
Nice to hear from you. Thank you for taking a moment to speak with me.
No problem. Good to talk to you.
And just to check your levels, what do you describe the shoes you're wearing for me?
Well, they're black leather tie shoes.
Nice. Okay. And you can hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Perfect. I'm just going to put a short introduction on this, and then we'll start, okay?
You got it.
Aloha, it's Dave Lawrence, and a big mahalo for joining me. Today, we have a very special guest with a rich background and fascinating topic. The Kanui Kapono Hawaiian Charter School in Anahola on Kauai is a local school that's teaching the benefits of Transcendental Meditation to students, teachers, and administrators. The Transcendental Meditation Program Hawaii shares their appreciation for the value of TM with many noted celebrities, actors, musicians, and a cross-section of other well-known figures, like my recent guest, Mike Love of the Beach Boys, or my next guest. With a history in some of the cities I've grown up in, like Boston and Philadelphia, he's a distinguished American filmmaker, known for such titles as Twin Peaks, Blue Velvet, The Elephant Man, Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway, and Eraserhead, to name a few. He offers his own line of coffee. His website is innovative and revenue-generating. He brought about a significant Beatle member reunion as a fundraiser for TM. And he's our guest. It's a pleasure to welcome David Lynch. Aloha, David.
Aloha, Dave. Good to talk to you.
A big mahalo for you taking a moment for us.
Thank you.
What is your history personally with the state of Hawaii?
Dave, I have zero history. Zero history with Hawaii. Never been there. I've seen a lot of movies featuring Hawaii, seen a lot of beautiful photographs, heard stories, but never visited.
Never been here yet. And what led you to have a connection with Transcendental Meditation Program Hawaii?
Well, the David Lynch Foundation for Consciousness-Based Education and World Peace funds the Quiet Time program, Transcendental Meditation for students all around the world. And to date, we've helped start about 100,000 students around the world, and 48 of them, students and faculty and administrators, like you said, have started in Hawaii.
Wow. So basically, through your generosity with the David Lynch Foundation, you've been funding this program at the Kanui Kapono Hawaiian Charter School in Anahola on Kauai so that they may be teaching the TM to the students.
Right. They've already started. And so they're all, the 48 people, they start each day with 15 minutes of meditation and end each day with 15 minutes of meditation. And already experiencing greater mental clarity. I'm reading this from this report. Greater mental clarity, alertness, focus, calm, less stress, lower reaction when stress occurs, better grades, greater happiness. And they've also reported very clear transcending and more supportive nature. So this is what happens when, any human being learns this technique to dive within, experience the big treasury within. Life gets better and better and better. So it's very, very beautiful and very important.
So your organization ends up providing the funding to teach the children. How are the instructors brought to be in the capability to provide that sort of nurturing?
Well, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi taught teachers to teach Transcendental Meditation just as he taught it. And so you need a certified, recertified, legitimate teacher of the technique. It takes about 4 consecutive days, about an hour and a half a day to learn the technique, and then it's your technique for the rest of your life. So on Hawaii, there's some great, great teachers of Transcendental Meditation, and they go into the schools and teach the students, the principal, the teachers, and the staff, and away they go.
And it's your organization that basically provides the funding. Without the David Lynch Foundation creating the funds to pay for these teachers and this instruction, then it really wouldn't be happening.
Well, it has been that way up to now, but I think more and more school systems will see the benefits Schools all around the world are in trouble. There's so many problems in schools. There's so much stress. They say stress is hitting kids at a lower and lower age. All these, drugs are being recommended to give to kids, and it's such a shame. This is a stress buster. If nothing else, let the heavy load of negativity and stress lift away from these kids. And when the school systems see the benefits, see higher grades, see better relationships, and see this great ability to focus and comprehend come up, all from within the kids. It's not a surface thing. It's not something that's put on them. They get it from inside. Within every human being is this treasury. So they'll start seeing this, and they'll start funding as well.
So it's sort of, you look at it as almost kickstarting what you hope will be a larger phenomenon of teaching.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the education of the future. When you dive within and truly transcend and have that experience, you infuse that every time you meditate, and you are unfolding your full potential. And education should unfold the full potential of the student. It's very, very beautiful.
It sounds it, and it's really something that I've admired in you over at least the last year or so when I first discovered the magnitude of the show that you were doing in New York and how the funds for that were essentially going to be going to support these efforts. How was it that that particular school on Kauai that we were talking about was able to connect with you? Why that particular location?
Well, I don't know. I guess the saying goes, you go where you are welcome. But this is a very special school. This, they say the Hawaiian culture had its origin in Vedic India. And this culture was really, taken away in the 1800s. And it's a very big shame. The cultures of the world need to be saved and protected and, celebrated. So this Vedic, culture is something that this school is very interested in maintaining.
Okay, so you see it as so that school sought the funding out, and they made the connection to you guys?
I'm pretty sure that's the way it went, yes.
Wow, what a great thing for you to be doing. And are you aware of how many different states or locations are having these programs that you're basically funding?
In the world?
Yeah, or even worldwide, but I was just, before we expanded our perspective to a global one, I was just curious, in the United States, how far-reaching the program was.
I think it's in over 20 full schools, and that means that principal, teachers, staff, students, and at every one of these schools, some of them before they got this program were the worst schools in their state. And 1 year later, a school you would very much love to attend. And it's a phenomenon, a life-transforming thing. And so now there's no more, trying to find them. There's a huge waiting list. There's about 100 schools that want this in the New York City area alone. So it's just a lack of funds right now, or they'd all be having this program.
And when you describe it as full, you're basically implying that it's not only the students, but that there are a significant number of administrators who are also part of the program, which is like the case here on the islands.
Right. Like teachers, they have this thing called teacher burnout, where there's so much stress in schools, the teachers don't like to teach anymore, and they get stressed, and it's not fun. They get this thing, and the stress goes, and they start enjoying teaching again, and they get students who enjoy learning again. It's very good.
Oh, it really seems like it, and through researching about you, I was able to discover that, in fact, you have mentioned it many times before, but I'm hoping you'll tell the story here, that Transcendental Meditation goes back in your life a number of decades. I'm hoping that you can sort of piece together for us how you found it and how you brought it into your own life.
Right. Well, there's a bunch of things, but I started meditating, Transcendental Meditation, in 1973 on July 1st, a beautiful sunny Saturday morning, here in Los Angeles at the Transcendental Meditation Center. And the reason I heard the word enlightenment, which is the full potential of the human being,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard this phrase, true happiness is not out there where we always are trying to find it. And sometimes we find it, but we notice it changes, it goes. We live in the field of relativity, field of change. But true happiness lies within. And I thought about this phrase. It had a ring of truth, but they don't tell you where the within is, and they don't tell you how to get there. And I finally hit me that maybe meditation is the way to go within and get that. And there's many, many, many different kinds of meditation. But from reading and asking questions and going here and going there, I found Transcendental Meditation because my sister had started. And now there's like 600 or 700 studies on, the benefits of Transcendental Meditation and studies verifying this technique. Now there's brain research. And the very, very important thing, when a human being truly transcends, if they're hooked to the EEG machine, it's the only experience, transcending is the only experience that utilizes the full brain. Boom, total brain coherence. Anything else we do uses a little tiny particular part of the brain. Transcending uses the whole brain. So it tells you something about how important this deepest level of life is, unbounded, infinite consciousness, pure love, infinite happiness, infinite intelligence, all within the human being. Transcendental meditation is just a technique, a key to open the door to that. You have that experience every day, and life gets better. IQ can go up. Relationships improve. More and more energy. People are so tired and stressed these days. It just blows that negativity away. People can start enjoying life, see a bigger and bigger picture. The world looks better and better, and and everything you do gets more enjoyable. It's very, very good human being thing, and it's right there within every human being. So I was running out of happiness, and I didn't know why I wasn't happy inside. I felt hollow, and so it drove me to this technique, and right away, Dave, things truly started getting better.
I'm entirely fascinated. Two things are coming to mind simultaneously. One is, and I want to ask you them both in case I forget them. The first is, does more success, because you're a very successful man, does more success come into your life as a result of TM? And the second thing is, I'm hoping that you can explain for folks who are listening a basic, easy way, or at least a first step, if possible, David, that people can get TM into their lives. What are some tangible suggestions you can offer as a first step?
Well, you call 888-LEARN-TM, 888-LEARN-TM, and they'll tell you where you can find a teacher in your area, and then you'll talk to the teacher, ask questions, and if you want to learn, you'll learn. And there's a fee to learn because the teachers get money and the worldwide organization gets some of that money. But if you're a hardship case, you can get a reduced fee, and you can also write to the David Lynch Foundation, and we'll try to help you even more. So find us and ask for a recertified, legitimate teacher of Transcendental Meditation, and if you find that teacher, you'll get the technique, you'll be on the path, and everything will be beautiful. 1-888-LEARN-TM. And is it a path to more success? I think there's a thing. Maybe the events of your life will stay the same, but how you go through them will certainly get better. Successes won't kill you, and failures won't kill you. You'll go through with way more self-assurance, way more, more happiness. And when you have more creativity, more happiness, more of this, bubbling up from inside, the chances for success are much greater. If you're stressed or depressed or sad or filled with anger and hate, the chance for success goes way down. That whole conduit of flow of ideas, flow of creativity is cramped. A truly depressed person can hardly get out of bed, let alone create. And so it doesn't guarantee a success, but it guarantees a great life.
It brings about potentially better circumstances to nurture the potential for success, I guess.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
More self-confidence, less stress.
Pardon?
More self-confidence and less stress.
Absolutely, and more energy and more creativity.
Your power on behalf of TM is something that was so enormous that you organized, and you'll correct me certainly if I'm wrong, and I don't think I'm wrong, but perhaps I am. You organized the only event ever where Sir Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, April 4th, 2009, reunited. The Change Begins Within fundraising event. And I was hoping that you could explain to me a little bit about what sort of feeling that gave you to accomplish that, and how you've been able to connect with those two figures who are arguably some of the first public figures to really bring that TM experience to Americans.
Right. I did not organize. I played a part in organizing it, but a lot of great people worked to put that concert together. And I think Ringo and Paul had been together on the stage in a celebration of George Harrison. But I don't know that they actually sang together. And so it was a very, very important concert, April 4th, as you said, at Radio City Music Hall. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night with a lot of great people. And the Beatles and Donovan did bring Transcendental Meditation to the West. And they're still meditating away.
So both of those guys are still practicers.
Yes.
And I know that quite recently you spent time in Los Angeles when there was the occasion for Ringo to have his Hollywood Rock Walk, his Walk of Fame moment.
His homework real good. That was a great night, too. Ringo got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And, like everybody said, it's about time.
Oh, absolutely. And do you count him among your personal friends?
No. I love Ringo like everybody else, but I don't hang out with Ringo. But he's a really great guy. And he's got a new album out, and it's fantastic.
So you just showed up at that event. You were there.
I was there, yeah.
And you went, why? Because you wanted to witness it? I mean, what?
He invited me, and so it was a real honor to be there with him.
So Ringo invited you to that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a nice thing. I mean, these are the figures who really, as the advocate you are of TM, these are some of the people who really helped, as you agreed with me, bring it around to people. And certainly I know I'm familiar with the Concert for George event that occurred at Radio City Music Hall, but I would still say that your event, maybe even took a step further. And the reason that I pointed out to you, David, is, and I'm sure it's not lost on you because you appreciate who they are and the fact that they were willing to do the event that they did, performing their classic music on stage together again in front of an audience after so many years. It was all done on behalf of helping to raise these funds. And in some ways, these are the same funds that are funding the Kauai School, yeah?
Absolutely. Precisely. The money raised, some of it has gone right over to Hawaii.
You have really done a great service for the world, and I'm impressed that you've been able to share some ways that people can connect with it. And I guess you're saying there really is no way to learn this on your own or through a website or book. You really need a teacher.
Absolutely. You need a teacher, and it would be great if it was you could get it from a book, but you need a legitimate teacher. And ask for that, get the real thing, and you're on your way.
That's very nice. Two final things for you, David. Just a curiosity, a question because of your unique position in the world. with TM and with knowing a lot of powerful people over the course of your career. The subject of extraterrestrials, what do you know about it and what can you share?
Well, Maharishi said, what do we care about the space truck drivers?
And that meant?
That meant, like there might be a lot of, things flying around out there in space, but this is, still, that's still the physical world. And they say there's 10 dimensions of space, 1 dimension of time, and you go beyond that, all of that when you transcend. Get to the palace, and all the territory will be yours. And, this is the key. It's fun to think about all sorts of things, but, they say, another way to say it is capture the fort, and all the territories are yours. So transcend every day. Experience the unbounded, infinite ocean of pure consciousness, all those positive qualities, all positive, and unfold that. They say, know thyself. This is the big self. Unfold that, and you'll just be, doing great.
It relates to having positive energy, yeah?
You can't pretend you have positive energy. You can't try to have positive energy. You go, like you can't pretend to be a multi-billionaire, but you get the key to the vault filled with, unbounded gold, and you go there each day and bring out as much as you can. Then you truly are a multi-zillionaire, or then you truly are, positive energy. And it's all there within. Just you need the technique to go in and experience it and get it.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. It's sort of, just to paraphrase George Clinton, it's kind of like you can't fake the funk.
Exactly right.
Thought you'd appreciate that. A final note, we are public radio, and I'm hoping, I just wanted to ask you, would you be willing, if the opportunity comes up, to be my guest again on the phone during one of our upcoming fundraisers for Hawaii Public Radio during our pledge drive?
Sure, Dave. For sure.
Your support would mean a lot. I ask you just because of your position in the community and people listening, it would certainly resonate with them.
Fantastic.
Well, that's a great thing.
Dave, I really appreciate this.
I'm sorry, you got cut off. Say that again.
You're a good guy, Dave, and I really appreciate this.
Oh, thank you so much, David. I really appreciate it, too. It's been a pleasure getting to speak with you, and we'll get the word out there for sure.
Good deal. Aloha. This is David Lynch, and you all are listening to my good friend, Dave Lawrence.